Hello and welcome to the Canadian North. So, believe it or not, we got to step 10. How do you feel about that? Because I know how I feel. If I progress in this with this speed, I'm gonna finish by Christmas time. And in the meanwhile, I think we're gonna move out from the house this year. We're trying to change the location. I try to live more close to the forest, to a wooden area or something. So I could easily imagine 3 months of being busy with moving and packing, unpacking, setting up a new place, etc. A lot of boxes and so on. But anyway, so we are in step 10, and in step 10 Trumpeter said to install these two small pieces, the C45 and 46. Let's zoom a bit. Okay, C45 and 46. I'm gonna paint them here and then cut them. And in the same step, we have to add on the superstructure these ones, these guns here. I think they are 3 inches, 75 or 76 millimeter diameter, and there are 6 of them, but we only gonna install 4 of them in this step. They come from step 1, if you remember. I couldn't. They are number, or rather step D, 1D, are these 6 pieces here, and I have other ones that there are 12 of them. I don't remember what letter they are, 1E or F or something, but these are smaller. I think these are 47 millimeter guns, very fast guns, against torpedo boats or something like this, and these are 3 inches. I could install them and then paint each of them, but knowing myself how clumsy I am, I believe I'm gonna touch the deck with my shaky hands. So I'd better paint them before and then install them. We'll see how it goes. Well, it seems to me we'll end up having a new government here in Canada, sooner or later, or at least a new prime minister, and not a moment too soon. Under this far left government, perhaps the most so-called progressive government in the Western world, Canada was the only country in the G7 not having an improvement in standard of life in the last 8 years. The far left government gave Canada the first economic shutdown in modern times, in modern history. See the Chinese virus. the mandates, restrictions, masking, vaccines, and first in the government public relations, they froze the bank accounts of some of the people who manifested for freedom and anti-mandates. Now they insist to call these pandemics, the virus itself, COVID, and not the Chinese virus. Well, in 1919, 1920, we had the Spanish virus, the Spanish flu, and then, and 100 years later, nobody felt offended about calling it the Spanish flu. Even today we call it the Spanish flu and nobody seems to care. But when it's about the Chinese, oh no, we suddenly became so politically correct and reversed to the scientific name. One can say we had a flu pandemic, stronger than usual flu indeed, but still a flu. And the government mandated the shutdown of almost all the society. Not that anybody asked me, but in this one, the government inflicted much more damage to the society than the virus itself. Not that other governments didn't do it. They did it too. But the Canadian government, under this far-left camarilla, around some Quebec, Montreal downtown mafia, this government was particularly enthusiastic about the extent of those measures and was particularly severe against those who dared to contradict it, who refused the mandates, who refused to get vaccinated. A lot of people here in Canada lost their jobs because of that. And some other people got their bank accounts frozen because they're there to demonstrate, to manifest against the mandates. This government is still called a liberal one because it's mainly formed by the Liberal Party, but there is nothing, I mean nothing liberally true about this movement anymore. They very much resemble the communists. They have the communist reflexes, the communist way of thinking, the communist all the communist manifestations that you would expect from a far left government and party. There is nothing liberal about these people anymore. And believe me, I know a thing or two about the communists. I was raised back in Eastern Europe during the communism. I know, I can see where this country goes under this government. So yeah, we'll have a new government, and not a moment too soon. The small traces of plastic that are still here, I will have to grind them away or cut them away off camera. These ones are now dry, and I will have to just complete the painting on the barrels, the tip of the barrels. And that's about it for these small pieces. And apart from that, we have to install the the roof of the conning tower, which is this one. The piece is already prepared. This one. And then we have the G3, which is the famous Helm house, or rudder house. Let me look here. The G3, I think, is this one. This one, which needs some touch-up paint. This corner here is not very well painted. And this is supposed to complete the step 10. I think it stays there just fine. It's gonna glue. and we'll be fine with that one. How about I try to zoom a bit more that whole area. Let's see. Well, of course, with naked eye I cannot see this edge not being painted properly. I cannot. But on the big screen with the zoom I use now, I can see it. So I think pretty soon I'm gonna have to do a bit of touch up in this area, and perhaps here too, in this area. And I know for sure the bow is in need of a touch up. You can see this whole edge, it needs touch up. And I think, now that we talk about this one, look at these ribs here. They also need some love. Yeah, so we keep going. We keep going. So somewhere in here, if I focus correctly, it will be this one. This one, they say it's like this. But I don't know. I'll have to look more into the instructions, because this one is not symmetrical. What I want to say, this one has these windows on the side, and Trumpeter says this side with two windows should be installed on the port side. That is on the left of the ship. But I wonder if that's true. I have to look more in the instructions. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't believe this will be installed like this. I have to think about it. And then of course we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those guns that we just painted. And then what else? The two pieces, these ones, that's gonna stay here. One here and the other one on the other side. Okay, I'm talking too much now and I'm doing nothing. Okay, so I was terribly wrong. This one is not G3, it's not from here. The piece, the G3 is this one, and it has symmetry. It has two windows on this side and another two windows on the other side, so we are okay. Even more, we have these two fixation points here, which they have to come exactly here and here. So of course I will have to re-drill those holes, because we all know what happens with the holes in this model. They don't receive the proper piece very easily. So this one is our baby, and it stays like this it's the open part is up, it's towards the upper part. I'm gonna scratch the surface. If I keep doing this, this would be the final position, or something like this anyway.